Here is the Assure model for the copyright lesson. In the Assure model, A is for Analyze Learners. The general characteristics of Miss Stewart's reading class is that they are working on an assignment that requires knowledge of copyright laws. The students are said to be digital natives and utilize the internet quite often. Students, however, have very little knowledge of what copyright laws consist of. Specific competencies. The students are currently able to navigate the internet on their own. Learning differences and needs. The students learn best when they are engaged in a part of the lesson. This lesson can be differentiated as needed. The first S in the Assure model stands for State Standards and Objectives. The standard involved today is the ISTE 1.2C. Students demonstrate an understanding of and respect for the rights and obligations of using and sharing intellectual property. These are the objectives that the students will learn today. Students will understand the importance of recognizing works of art and the artist who create it. Students will know that when you make something, you get to decide if it can be shared or not. Students will demonstrate knowledge of what copyright laws are and how to determine if a creation is in public domain. Students will be able to tell what fair use is and how it relates to copyright laws. The second S in Select Strategies and Resources. Select Strategies. This lesson uses the teacher-centered strategy as the students will be active listeners during the presentation. During the presentation, students will not be asked to perform any type of activity, but they will be required to listen attentively. Select Resources. This lesson involves students listening actively as the teacher or librarian presents on a Promethean board. Alignment with standards, outcomes, and objectives. The Promethean board is an interactive whiteboard and is ideal for presenting to a group of students. The display is large and the presentation is colorful and eye-catching in order to keep the students engaged during the lesson. Accurate and current information. The information regarding copyright law, copyright infringement, and fair use are all up to date and accurate. Sources used include government websites, which provide current information on copyright law. The laws of copyright are fact, and so they are definitely accurate and current information that the students will be learning in this lesson. The information regarding copyright law and related information is being taught in grade-appropriate language that is easy to understand for Ms. Stewart's class. This means that bigger words are broken down to where the students in this class will be able to understand their meaning. Interest level and engagement. The students are excited about their classroom assignment and know that they need to understand copyright law before they may begin. This presentation is engaging in that there are examples discussed that present relatable situations to the students. Technology quality. The Promethean board is of high quality as far as sight and sound. The presentation site used, Canva, is also a high quality site. It offers engaging graphics and colorful slides so that the students may listen attentively. Ease of use. The Promethean board as well as Canva presentation are pretty easy to use. They do require some type of training when the student is going to use them. In this case, it is a teacher-centered lesson, so the use of the interactive board and presentation will only be done by the teacher during this particular lesson. Bias-free. This lesson is focused on facts regarding copyright law and is therefore bias-free. User guide and directions. The teacher is the only one utilizing the resources during this lesson. The understanding and knowledge regarding copyright law will most likely bring up questions from the students in the future. The U in Assure stands for Utilize Resources. Preview the resources. Ms. Jones will run through her slide presentation on Canva to make sure it is working properly. She will double-check the graphics and sounds to make sure the students can see and hear the presentation. Prepare the resources. Ms. Jones will make sure the presentation is set up and ready to go so there will be no time wasted. Prepare the environment. Ms. Jones will have comfortable seating arranged so that all students can see and hear the presentation. Ms. Jones will also go to each spot where the students will be sitting to make sure that they can see. Prepare the learners. Ms. Stewart has explained to her students that it is important for them to understand copyright law before beginning their assignment in their classroom. The students are aware that there will be a presentation on copyright law. Provide the learning experience. Ms. Jones and Ms. Stewart will make sure the students enjoy this engaging, enthusiastic presentation that has relatable situations within it. The R in the ASSURE model stands for Require Learner Participation. Student practice activities. There will be an opportunity for students to discuss situations in which copyright law plays a part. This will be after the presentation, either in the library or in the classroom as time allows. There will also be an activity involving certain situations that are relatable to this grade level, and students will have the chance to discuss with their partners if the situation is copyright infringement or not. During the assessment activity, Ms. Jones and/or Ms. Stewart will circulate to ask prompting questions and provide affirmations and feedback as necessary. This depends on where the activity will take place as time allows. The last letter E in ASSURE stands for Evaluate and Revise. Assessment of learner achievement. Ms. Jones and Mrs. Stewart will use the rubric to assess the student's understanding of copyright law. The rubric assesses the knowledge the student demonstrates on copyright law as well as their ability to identify it. Evaluation of strategies and resources. Ms. Jones and Ms. Stewart evaluate the lesson strategy by speaking with and asking questions of the students to assess their understanding. Ms. Jones evaluates the resources by engaging with the students regarding the presentation. This evaluation will tell Ms. Jones what is working and what is not. This can be done during the activity as well. Revision. Ms. Jones and Ms. Stewart will review the information gathered from the overall understanding the students show regarding copyright law. Adjustments can be made if needed, and the assignment can be changed if students' understanding is low. If necessary, small group intervention can be provided.